We are making our way north up the coast today, and we've got a much quieter boat at the moment. We dropped the remainder of my family off this morning in Pittwater so they could make their way down to Sydney and catch their flight back to the States. So it is just Amy and I. We are on our way up to Lake Macquarie, which is about a 40-ish, maybe a little less mile jump up the coast from Pittwater where we were. We've got southerly winds, which is why we're going pronto, but they're kind of light. True wind speeds 12, 13, 14-ish. So we're trying to sail as deep as we can, but manage also high enough to keep the wind in the sails. A little bit of a balancing act, but we're making good progress. We'll definitely be up in Lake Macquarie by the end of the day, so just kind of out here enjoying, taking it easy. We've had a pretty good sail up the coast this afternoon. Had to do a couple jibes in order to prevent ourselves from getting too far out to sea and thus caught in the EAC. But yeah, not too bad. We are closing in on the entrance into Lake Macquarie, which is going to be slightly interesting because this will be our first official Australian bar crossing, which have a reputation of being pretty treacherous. So fortunately, I think this is about the easiest one in Australia to choose for doing it first. Very protected, especially when the winds are out of the south, which fortunately they are today. Once we get inside the bar, there's a bridge that's going to have to open for us. They only open on the hour and close for like a rush hour time. So fortunately, they've got some courtesy moorings we'll be able to pick up and just kind of chill until the bridge is ready. But yeah, looking forward to getting in the lake. We were quite careful to take a wide turn and get lined up perfectly heading across the bar into Lake Macquarie. The conditions did look pretty calm, but I'd be lying if I said we weren't still a bit nervous. We'd heard plenty of bar crossing horror stories from our Aussie cruising friends. Alright, how was our first bar crossing in Australia?
It was really easy.
Kind of a non-event, huh?
Yeah, exactly, a non-event. It was very calm, and I mean, it's very shallow, actually, so you'd be surprised the bar's not worse, but it is perfectly high tide right now, practically.
And winds from the south means it's pretty protected by that island out there.
Yes, that's true. So it was good. And this is a cute little area. Like, there's lots of little kind of coves off the main channel, and there's lots of fishermen out. And yeah, so now we're waiting on the Swansea Bridge.
Ooh, it's got a name now, huh?
It opens on the hour between 8 a.m. and 6 p.m., but not at 4 p.m. No, I'm sorry. Between 6 a.m. and 6 p.m., but not at 4 p.m. and not at 8 a.m. or something like that. And it is 4 p.m. on the dot. Had there been a 4 p.m. bridge opening, we wouldn't have had to moor, but we do. So they have 3 courtesy moorings here, and so we're gonna wait an hour. Chill.
How terrible.
I know.
The moorings were a very nice way to wait for the bridge, but it did look like someone wasn't having a very good day. Once the bridge started to open, we quickly lined up to wait our turn to go through. Amy got us through the bridge without any problems. Once inside, we still had a 2-mile motor through a channel until we made it to the actual entrance to the lake. Our first stop was over towards the western side of the lake in a quiet little spot where we could do a bit of provisioning and some exploring. It is a new day and we are in Lake Macquarie. Where are we specifically?
We picked up a mooring in Killiben Bay, and we are in the town of Rathmines, running around.
And this is a huge thanks to one of our awesome followers, David Hutchings, who we met in Sydney. He keeps his boat here and gave us an awesome rundown of everything kind of Lake Macquarie related. So thanks, David.
Yeah, so we are walking to the Catalina War Memorial, which I think has a Catalina airplane and is from World War II.
Apparently this was used as kind of like a flying boat base,
Yes.
we think.
Yes.
So yeah, we're gonna check that out. Grocery store here, Chinese restaurant apparently. May skip that one, but gonna go enjoy a nice little day today.
Yeah.
Rathmines is a pretty small town, so it didn't take too long at all to find some evidence of the old base, including a nice memorial to the unique unit who served there. However, there was one very big thing that was missing. We learned that the officers' mess from the old Air Force Base is now called the Bowling Club.
Yep. Lawn bowling.
I don't know what bowling is. They did not have the bumpers on the lanes. Like, what is this weird nonsense?
It was not loud music and what is that glow in
Disco
the dark?
lights and yeah.
Black lights. There you go.
Very strange. So if someone can help explain lawn bowling to me, that would be appreciated.
Yep. I was just gonna say, apparently I was wrong. There's not a plane here.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's sad.
It looks like they just recently bought a plane and are restoring it.
Okay, so for those of you who are following in our wake, make sure you stop, see the plane, tell us how
Once
awesome
they
it
get it
is.
Yep. Looks like we were productive.
Yes, there may have been no plane, but there was a little IGA grocery store and a butcher's, so we got a chance to stock up on a little food. We won't starve for the week, which is always nice.
We've got goodies.
Yeah, so now I think it's back to the boat. It's kind of a gray day. Might do a little relaxing, might move this afternoon. See how inspiration strikes us.
Alrighty.
The gray stuck around for a while, so inspiration didn't strike too hard. But a couple of days later, we made our way down towards the bottom of the bay. We did a quick pit stop overnight off Pulba Island and then continued on to an anchorage off of Morisset Park. You look like you're getting ready to go somewhere.
I am getting ready to go somewhere.
So what's the plan for today after our attempts to find a flying World War II boat kind of fizzled?
We are attempting to find kangaroos.
Well, I hear there's a lot of those here.
Yes. So we'll see. We are at Morisset Park. Morisset, yeah. There's a hospital, an old abandoned hospital, and a park, and a not a camping ground, picnic ground. And rumor has it there are lots of kangaroos and wallabies.
Kind of right up your alley, huh?
Yeah.
Abandoned hospital sounds a little creepy, though.
Yep. Don't worry, it's still full daylight.
You'll protect me, right?
Yes,
Okay,
I will
good.
protect you. With my fisticuffs. Yeah. Ready? Little Dipper is going down.
Wow, with some fisticuffs?
Some fisticuffs.
Time to get in the dinghy?
Time to get in the dinghy.
Okay.
Put the camera away.
Yes, dear.
Get in the dinghy.
We made it to shore. Got Little Dipper up in a little bit of a muddy beach, but we're here. And now we're on the lookout for
Looking out for the roos.
the roos.
Creepy psychiatric hospital turned wildlife reserve.
Yeah, that seems to be a pretty good sign for the kangaroos back there.
Yeah. Do not feed the kangaroos. Don't worry, guys. We didn't bring any kangaroo food. I'm hoping they'll just be attracted to our charming personalities.
Yeah, exactly. Tell a couple knock-knock jokes. That always does the trick.
Exactly.
Neither Amy or I are big horror movie people, but wandering around that abandoned hospital felt a bit like we were in one. I kept waiting for a scary man in a mask to jump out at me, but I should have known the script in Australia would be a bit different. Did you find one, babe?
Found one.
Way to channel your inner Steve Irwing.
Crikey, we got us a kangaroo here.
Follow the roo here.
Yeah. She's like, I don't smell food. You're not interested.
Not so much, babe. So sorry.
So little.
Yeah, it makes me wonder if Mama Roo's around here.
Yeah. Hopefully not Daddy Roo, because that would be a little scary. Hi. You are so cute. God, their legs are huge.
This kangaroo really didn't care about us, but it wasn't long before we found a few more who did.
This one's a full-grown adult.
Yeah, it's a big one over there.
Yep.
And here I was about to say I was pretty satisfied seeing just one, but
Oh. You get to see two.
now we're in it.
And it sees us. Now this one's a boy kangaroo.
Oh, really?
Mhm.
And how can you tell?
Everything is intact. It's all together.
And not afraid to show it, is he?
Nope. Nope. No
Have
modesty.
some modesty, my man. What do we find now?
And we found a whole mob.
A mob?
Yeah.
A group of kangaroos is called a mob?
It is.
Oh my
So,
goodness.
hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. That's a lot of kangaroos.
We need some backup, I think. We are not prepared for this. I don't even know what to do with all those. That is just ridiculous.
It's a ridiculous number of kangaroos.
Wow.
I understand they're really a menace, like, to farms and gardens and people's yards and stuff. They're like deer back home, basically.
But they're so cute.
They're so cute. So we've now seen, this is our second time to see them in the wild because we saw them in Coffs Harbour. And then we saw them at the 2 zoos, or wildlife refuges. Yeah, whatever. But this is really cool to just see them in the middle of nowhere. All right, buddy.
Yeah, time to back away. Unless you think we've got food, but we do not.
Wow.
We're leaving, Mr. Roo. You look much bigger than I am. Think that guy wanted to fight, or was he hungry?
I think he's hungry. I think it's really sad that people feed them, especially when they feed them crap, like bread. But gets them used to us.
That's why there's signs, don't feed the kangaroos.
Yeah, don't feed the roos, guys.
These guys just don't seem very concerned with us, do they?
Nope.
Look pretty chill just laying down.
Yeah, they do this little on their elbow thing. Seems so Aussie.
You could get a crick in your arm, I think.
Yeah. We have no food, sorry. Hi.
And we got more.
Sorry, no food.
Sorry, mate. Can't help you, buddy. You sure do look impressive, though.
Look at those claws. My goodness.
Yeah, that's why you don't get in a boxing match with these guys.
Well, we found tons of kangaroos.
Oh my god, yes.
Yeah. And they, some of those males are not shy about approaching you. Full steam ahead.
That was a little bit nerve-wracking. It's like they wanted to come back and live on Starry Horizons with us.
David won't let me have an animal on board.
No.
But people have boat goats. Like, we should have a boat goat.
I think that's a terrible idea. Everyone, please back me up on this. No boat goats. I'm gonna know if you're not on my side. We've got a little something special planned today. Another one of our followers with a great name, David Gads, is taking us out to go and check out Newcastle. So that is super duper awesome because it'd be a little difficult for us to get there by boat. So we're gonna go do some exploring. David was nice enough to come all the way down to pick us up, and for a first stop, took us to the Merryweather Ocean Baths. We've been to a few other ocean baths in Australia, but Merryweather is the largest in the southern hemisphere. Our next stop taught us a bit of local history. We learned about Sir Paul Edmund Strzelecki, whose research into coal helped spur the development of Newcastle and the surrounding mines. A kilometer in the opposite direction, we walked down to another ocean bath called the Bogey Hole, which was originally built in about 1820 for the Commandant's private use. What do you think about that? Getting your own private bath cut out?
It's a lot bigger than I thought it would be.
Yeah.
For being a private bath, yeah. It's pretty big. It's gorgeous though.
A little bit of waves crashing.
Yeah. These Aussies are very clever with their baths.
Of course, no excursion would be complete without a visit to a marina to gawk at boats, and a little something special to wrap up the day. So how are we ending up the afternoon today, babe?
Gelato. And this is, they call it the world's best dark chocolate gelato. And I'm gonna agree with them. It is really, really good.
David, you done well, sir.
Musk. You can try it. Musk and some coconut.
Musk?
Yeah.
God.
We are still here in Lake Macquarie at the moment. We were hoping to have jumped a little further north towards Port Stephens by now, but we are caught in one of those famous Australian southerly blows at the moment. Offshore, the winds are like 25 to 30 knots, and wave height is like 4 to 5 meters. We don't need to leave at the moment, so we're gonna wait probably till the tail end of this system rolls through, and hopefully we'll get a little lighter day to jump forward, maybe in a day or two. In the meantime, we're just hanging out. It is absolutely gorgeous here. We're on a mooring right now, but it is, wow, is it windy. I always try to remind myself that the weather has to dictate our sailing schedule. Sometimes that means we have to wait, sometimes we have to leave early, and sometimes we have to turn Starry Horizons into a motorboat. Hey everyone, as you are watching this, we are literally on passage at the moment, sailing to Indonesia, which is sad because that means we're leaving Australia. We've been here for almost 7 months, and it has been such an amazing time. We didn't get eaten by any crocodiles, no spiders, no snakes. It was, you know, a lot less dangerous than I thought it was going to be, thank goodness. But honestly, the best part was getting a chance to meet so many people here. You know, talking to you guys, spending time with everyone, getting to know you. It made it so special to be here in Australia. Definitely going to make a lot of fond memories for us, and we'll definitely make it back someday. So thank you guys so much for making everything so special. That's pretty much all I can say. So thanks for watching. We've got a lot more videos from our time here in Australia coming up. We're really excited to get to Indonesia and have a few more adventures in a new country as well. We'll see y'all next time.